where virtual racing meets real-world style. Gear up with 213 Simware's sim racing apparel, perfect for representing your favorite league, team, or driver. Contact them at 213simware@gmail.com for inquiries. 213 Simware is the official apparel company for the FourWide Motorsports League. Angry Chef Designs is a premier iRacing paint shop owned and operated by Hunter Carlson, specializing in high-quality custom racing liveries. As the proud sponsor of the FourWide Motorsports Racing League, Angry Chef Designs brings creativity, precision, and passion to every design. From bold, aggressive styles to clean, professional schemes, each paint is crafted to help drivers stand out on track. With a commitment to detail and customer satisfaction, Angry Chef Designs delivers top-tier visuals that match the competitive spirit of sim racing. Eastern Technical Design, Inc. provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. Construction drawings include all necessary structural, building, plumbing, mechanical, and electrical plans as required to produce a finished building and/or structure. This company is owned by Tracy Brown, the producer of our FWM network. If you're in the eastern region of North Carolina, look ETD up for any of your drafting needs. Golden Chef Speed Shop is your go-to iRacing setup shop for fast, affordable performance. Owned and operated by Chris Golden and Hunter Carlson, we're focused on giving every driver a competitive edge without breaking the bank. For just $5 per setup, we deliver reliable, race-ready setups built for consistency, speed, and confidence on track. Whether you're racing for fun or chasing wins, Golden Chef Speed Shop provides quality tuning at the lowest price around. Fast, affordable, competitive. Golden Chef Speed Shop, performance you can trust.
Before NASCAR's biggest stars made their names on the sport's largest stages, many learned how to win at one of racing's most legendary proving grounds. Known as the birthplace of NASCAR stars, Hickory Motor Speedway has been a cornerstone of stock car racing since opening in 1951 as a half-mile dirt track. Over the decades, champions like Ralph Earnhardt, Junior Johnson, Ned Jarrett, Jack Ingram, and Harry Gant all found success at Hickory, helping build the track's reputation as one of NASCAR's most important short tracks. The track hosted the NASCAR Cup Series competition through 1971 and became a staple of what is now the NASCAR O'Reilly Series, bringing future stars and Hall of Famers through its gates year after year. Today, its tight 0.4 of a mile layout continues to showcase some of the best late model racing in the country. More than 75 years after its opening, Hickory remains one of the places where NASCAR's rich history and bright future meet under the lights. Tonight, it's the Angry Chef Designs 90 from Hickory Motor Speedway, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hickory Motor Speedway on a somber week in the motorsports world. Of course, everybody knows at this point we've lost Kyle Busch this week to an untimely illness. It's a tough one for sure. I don't have a real elaborate thing to talk about other than the fact we're going to miss Rowdy for sure. A lot of us hated Rowdy. A lot of us loved Rowdy. Some of us loved to hate Rowdy. But at the end of the day, the sport was better for him being here. So with that, rest in peace, Rowdy Busch. We got it from here. Thank you guys all for joining us here tonight. Race number 7 of the FourWide Motorsports Late Model Stocks Tour. Practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. About 4 minutes remain. We'll take a look at some of the fast times so far. Dakota Walls, top of the charts to this point. 14:42. 4:26 is the time for the 01. And it's Landon Brown, Ben Campbell, Austin Cansdale, Austin Pack Some familiar names as this season continues to power through. Race details for this evening. We're going to run heats, possibly a Consi, a 90-lap feature, 100% fuel on board, one set of tires. There's always that chance that somebody may say, all right, let's try it, let's bolt on a set, but maybe not. Also going to be some guys out there that may nurse the tire early on and run this whole race on the original set. That's been proven to be effective as well. These tires do have a little bit of endurance to them, and once they get some heat into them, they just kind of level off. We've seen some of the fastest laps of the season on older sets of tires late in the race. We'll see if that stays the case throughout the course of the evening. No fast repairs, one attempt at the green and white checkered. Weather-wise, we're 77 degrees air temperature, 44% humidity. Cloudy skies, sun peeking in and out. Almost no breeze, 3 miles per hour, and track temperature 91 degrees. That should start to come down as the night continues on. Upcoming schedule, we've got Hickory tonight, then we go to IRP, as I like to call it, Lucas Oil Raceway Park, for an 80-lap feature. Then on to Thompson, Martinsville Speedway. That'll be a blast with these cars. Irwindale, also another great track. Going to go down to the beach at Myrtle Beach, New Smyrna, Five Flags, and then going to the fairgrounds to close out the season. And it is the Angry Chef Designs 90 here at Hickory Motor Speedway, presented by FourWide Motorsports. Tom Janikowski already in the chat, waving the checkered flag already. Tommy, as always, thanks for checking in with us. We are dual streaming over at FourWide Motorsports and on Track Limits Network. I failed to share that link in the Discords here tonight, so if you'd be so kind to jump over and at least give us a few minutes of your time, you can jump back to your preferred broadcast platform if you so choose. About 90 seconds left before we see the black and red flags drop on Hickory Motor Speedway. It'll get us right into qualifying and then possibly 2 or 3 heats. And honestly, these heats, don't sleep on those. Those tend to be some of the more exciting races. Of course, usually only about 10 laps to get them done. Maybe a little bit longer with this smaller racetrack here tonight. Bit of a bull ring here at Hickory. Dakota Wall still the fastest on the speedway, a 14.426 lap time to Landon Brown's 466. Campbell ran a 470, Cansdale a 481, and Austin Pack a 493. Very tight times here. The top 5 drivers, all in the 14.4 departments. Got to go down to those hundredths place. Divvy out the running order. Seems like everybody is all said and done here with practice. They've got what they're going to get. 15 seconds before it officially comes to a close, but everybody getting set here for qualifying. We'll get into that immediately thereafter this session. So that's it. Practice done and dusted. We'll get right into qualifying here. See who takes to the speedway first. Looks like Hunter Carlson not wasting any time. He'll roll out. Or will he? Hunter in his Cadillac livery. Looks like Ty Sykes is going to go off first. How fitting. The M&M's Kyle Busch paint scheme with a 78 on the door. Sykes on the clock. Campbell's already got a lap in, 14.43 the time to beat for Sykes. He's on the green. Walls goes to the top, doesn't quite match his practice time. We'll see if he can pick it up here. Sykes across start finish. Where does he lock in? 14.509. Walls finishes up, doesn't get a lap 2, so 14.354 currently sits top of the board. We'll see if it's enough to keep him there. Cliff Mullins, 14.75. Mullins goes to P2, 14.395, just misses the top spot. Hunter Carlson now joins the racetrack. He's third fast, crosses the line for lap number 2. And I think that'll do it. Carlson a 14.407 the fast time. Now Austin Pack. Sixth quick, 14.444 for Austin Pack. We'll see if he can get some more here on lap 2. Could be a tall order to knock Walls off the top spot. Fifth quick, 14.408 for Austin Pack. Now to Dan Jones. 14th off turn number 4. We'll cross start finish. 14.547. 14th for Dan Jones. Yogi Schlier now. 17th. First lap didn't register, so unfortunately he'll sit on lap 2, 14.689, deep in the field for Yogi Schlier. See if he can make it up here in the heats. But that's going to wrap it up, I think, for just about everybody. Still a couple of minutes officially left in this session, but I believe every driver has gone out and at least attempted 2 laps at speed. We're going to take a very short break. We're going to come back with our first heat after this. Stay with us.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Hickory Motor Speedway, qualifying officially over here at the Speedway. We're going to get into our first heat. We got Dave Warmuth in the chat already. Says, this track is tough. I just can't get the hang of it. Well, you're really only not turning the wheel for, well, pretty much as soon as you get up off the corner and straighten the wheel, you're already getting set up for the next corner. So it's just, I know it's an oval. It's kind of like an egg, but it's still one big circle. With that, let's get to our starting grid. Front row, Dakota Walls and Cliff Mullins. Row 2 will be Austin Pack and Tristan Valdez. Row 3, Ty Sykes and Landon Brown. Row number 4 will be Drew King and Chris Bingley. Row number 5 will be Yogi Schlier and Mike Wild. The final car in the 11th spot, the number 77 of Charles Oberg. Your starting grid for heat number 1, 10 laps to get it done here tonight. We're sticking with 10. On this 4/10 of a mile bull ring, field already rolling away. We'll do 2 pace laps before we get underway. Connection issues there out of Cliff Mullins. Got to keep an eye on him. Hopefully that doesn't persist. Race truck heads to pit lane.
Flag.
There it is, green flag in the air. We're racing in Hickory. With the run off turn number 2, Walls takes the early advantage. Battle for second. Austin Pack to the inside of Mullins for the second spot. And behind him, Tristan Valdez in the M&M scheme. Couple of M&M's cars there supporting the Kyle Busch Toyota colors. The 96 being Tristan Valdez, the 78 Ty Sykes. Dakota Walls is checking out. Austin Pack up to P2. Valdez slips underneath Mullins. Mullins has fallen a couple of spots back to 4th. Laps to go. Everybody relatively clean in single file here. Again, a one-groove racetrack. You really got to force your way to the bottom. Root a guy out of the way if you want to pick up a spot. Landon Brown now gets a nose alongside the 78 of Sykes. Can't get it done. We'll try again. Landon Brown using up a little bit of the apron there, trying to get that race car to turn in the middle. Balls across start finish. 2 to go. He's let them all. Austin Pack, though, going to have his hands full holding off the 96 of Valdez. Scrapes the wall a bit on the entry to turn number 3, but out of turn number 4, Dakota Walls looking for the white. Nice little warm-up for Dakota Walls as he leads it green to checkered off turn number 4. He'll win heat number 1. Austin Pack will be second, and Valdez comes on in P3. FourWide Motorsports Network in the chat says, awesome job as always, Steve. Thanks for what you do for our races at FourWide Motorsports. Well, I just say thanks for having me, because this short track stuff, I don't do a whole lot of it, and I really wish I had more opportunities to do so, because, man, they are a lot of fun, and you guys do put on a great show. So, starting grid, if it'll work. Nope. It's becoming a trend. Once we get everybody gridded up, for whatever reason, that grid component may decide to start working. Still nothing. I'm just going to leave it up here and see if it fixes itself. But as it stands right now, it's Scott Shive, Hunter Carlson, Ben Campbell, Stephen Luttrell, Robert Eversole in 5th. 6th is Austin Cansdale, Dan Jones, Troy Campbell in the 4th row. The 5th row will be Elijah Grant and David Warmoth. Yeah, I don't know. It only does it on the short tracks. Maybe it's because of the heats. I don't know, but at least I've got the data. We can get you the information. It's all good.
flag.
Green flag in the air. We're underway from Hickory in Heat 2. Scott Chive will lead him down into turns 1 and 2. Side-by-side battle for second. Ben Campbell, Hunter Carlson. Campbell on the bottom in the number 27, that black and purple machine. Campbell's got it clear. Now Carlson's got to worry about Robert Ebersol. New color scheme on the one this week. Goes from white to black. Carlson stuck on the outside. He's going to get freight train all the way to the back. Little contact there from Steve Luttrell now as he takes advantage on the bottom. 17, Dan Jones, and Carlson gets spun in front of the 17. They both go around off turn number 2, and we've got a caution.
Pit sign now, Jersey. Get more acclimated to it, or is it still difficult?
So you saw it briefly there live as it happened. We'll take a shot from the blimp here. Take a look. 33 just gets the 32 a little crossed up here. Sends him into the 17 of Dan Jones. 33 is Austin Cansdale, but they both spin down. Jones gets the worst of it. Not a lot of damage, if any, on the Hunter Carlson machine as we get set to get things back underway quickly here. This little 4/10 of a mile oval. Even under caution, you're getting around here quickly. Pace truck lights still on as we work around under our first caution of the evening. Expecting the 1 to go signals. We cross start finish. Again, a 10-lap heat, but they are all required to be green flag laps in the heats. The feature, not so much. And there it is. Lights on the pace truck go out, so we're ready for the restart here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Front row will be Scott Chive and Ben Campbell, and Robert Ebersol, Steve Luttrell, David Warmuth up 4 spots, and Troy Campbell.
Green flag.
Chive gets away easy. Ben Campbell not going to worry about Robert Ebersol. Ebersol got the bottom. He has the preferred lane here. He'll easily take the spot, but no. Campbell battles back on the outside. Not quite clear yet. Ebersol might have him now. There he is, slides up in front of the 27, so move the 1 to Ebersol, but no, back to the bottom. Campbell gets himself back in that preferred lane, sticks it to the low side, little contact. White flag, though, for Scott Chive as this battle for second rages on behind him. Not going to be enough. Checkered flag for Chive. Ebersol takes the second position from the 5th starting spot. Ben Campbell will bring it home where he started in P3. Now we will run a quick consi here. 9-car field to get this one underway. Does the grid component work now? Nope. So row 1 will be Chris Bingley and Hunter Carlson. Row number 2, it'll be Drew King and David Warmuth. Row 3, Mike Wild and Elijah Graham. Row number 4, it's Yogi Schlier and Dan Jones. And in a row by himself at the back of the field, watch the 5. This one will be fun. Landon Brown bringing up the rear here in our consi. So 15-lap consolation race here, a little bit longer than our heats, but still neat and tidy. Should get this one over pretty quickly and jump right into our feature race. As the Angry Chef Designs 90 here at Hickory Motor Speedway coming up after 15 laps of hot and heavy green flag action here. Just a couple of pace laps. Pace truck rolls off. Does appear Landon Brown and Chris Bingley will not start this consi. So Yogi Schlier will round out the field. So only 7 cars. That's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to seeing how the 5 could knife his way through this field in such a short amount of time, but not to be, it appears. Chris Bingley looks like the same boat. Unless they're already locked into the feature, that could be too.
Green flag.
Here we go. Drew King rockets to the front, but Hunter Carlson all over the back bumper. Thought about diving it low to the inside, but the door was closed. The 34 of King shuts it on him. Back around. King will lead lap number 1. It's Carlson in second, David Warmuth in third, and a big check up there, the 34. King didn't fire off as soon as Carlson wanted to. They get away with it for now. King hangs on to the top spot. Carlson in tow. Carlson's got a fast race car. He's able to really drive up to the back bumper of Drew King mid-corner. Carlson now trying to change lanes here. Nicks up the approach, trying to find an alternate method to gain some traction and get around the 34, and it seems to be working. He's got a nose alongside in turn 1. Roots the 34 of Drew King up the racetrack. Drew's got to try and find a way to get back to the bottom, or it could be lead taken away by Hunter Carlson. Back to start finish, they're still side by side. 10 laps to go from Hickory Motor Speedway in our consolation race. Big wiggle out of both our top 2, but Carlson still keeps it to the left door of Drew King. Carlson now puts a nose just ahead. King way up the racetrack, trying to get a run to maintain that lead. Still can't get Carlson clear. And there he goes. Hunter Carlson takes the lead from Drew King. Cloud cover darkening down the speedway here with about 6 laps to go, waiting for these lights to come on. David Warmuth now slowly stalking Drew King. He's trying to take that second spot. The Golden Racing number 8, David Warmuth, just hunting for grip out there, trying to find a lane that will give him the advantage, but he is running out of time. You saw it took Hunter Carlson multiple laps to take the lead from Drew King. David Warmuth has only got about 2+ to go before he's going to settle for third. Back across start finish, there it is. 2 laps to go for Hunter Carlson. Looking to secure the win here in our consolation race. Off turn 4, final lap. There's your top 3, Carlson, King, and Warmuth off turn number 4, and that's how they'll finish. So 3 sprint races in the books here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Consolation race just wrapped up. The sun has now set here at Hickory Motor Speedway. The lights have come on. Will we see the sparks fly tonight? Let's take a look here at our starting grid. On the pole, Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, the 01 of Dakota Walls, flanked by the 87 B-Main Racing entry of Scott Shive. Starting in the second row, it'll be Austin Pack from FourWide Motorsports and Robert Eversole. Row number 3, Tristan Valdez and Ben Campbell. Row 4, it'll be Cliff Mullins and Stephen Luttrell. Row 5, Ty Sykes and Troy Campbell. Old guys rule, I would have to concur. Starting 11th to 77 of Charles Oberg. 12th goes to Austin Cansdale. 13th starter, the winner of the consolation race, Hunter Carlson from Golden Chef Speed Shop. Drew King will start from the 14th spot. 15th starter is David Warmuth. Yogi Schleer will roll off 16th. Dan Jones, 17th. Elijah Grant will be 18th. 19th starter, it's Michael Wild. And 20th belongs to the number 5 of Landon Brown. It's your starting grid here from Hickory Motor Speedway for the Angry Chef Designs 90 and Hickory Motor Speedway, presented by FourWide Motorsports. Getting 2 pace laps before we get the action underway here in our feature. 90 laps the distance. We've had a couple of clean heat races, only 1 caution across those first 3 races. We'll see if this one can run clean as well. A little more traffic though. 20 cars, and they're going to wave off the start here. They're going to go one more time around, I believe. Extinguish, pace truck that is. Extra lap before we go green. Don't worry, we'll be off and running here in a half a lap. It's 0.2 of a mile before they're back around to start finish. We'll get this thing rolling.
Green flag.
Shive and Walls side by side. Shive on the top side, Walls on the bottom. Still side by side into turns 3 and 4. Big turn for the 01, and he keeps it straight. Across the stripe, Walls leads lap number 1. Gets clear of Shive. Shive's got his hands full now. Austin Pack knocking on the door. And Pack will take over the position cleanly. And we got a caution. Yellow is out.
Give me your temps there, bud.
Trouble here on the front stretch. The 33 Austin Cansdale, the 00 of Mike Wild. Elijah Grant. I think there was one more as well. We didn't catch the name on, but either way, oh, there it is, the 72. Troy Campbell just trying to get righted, and they're still kind of wrecking after the fact, but some heavy damage on the right front of the 72. We'll see it here in a different angle. I think that thing's towed out to the parking lot. Take a look what happened. Ooh, the 78 gets back into the back bumper of Campbell, sends him around. Ty Sykes will drive away, but ooh, big time impact for Austin Cansdale. Nowhere to go for the 00 of Mike Wild. Monster hit. You run out of racetrack in a hurry at a place like this. Dan Jones got a big piece of that also. Mike Wild, the biggest, right in the driver's door. Makes you glad we're in a sim. Pace truck lights are out, ready for the restart here. Wrapping up caution number 1 here. The Angry Chef's Designs 90 here at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Green flag.
Cleanly away and still battling behind them. Scott Shive and Austin Pack. Landon Brown already into the top 10. He started back in 20th. Behind them, David Warmuth. Ty Sykes and Warmuth's in the fence. Monster hit. He gets into the tires at the end of turn number 1. A monster hit, and that'll be a night ender, I think, for Warmuth. Went straight on into that tire barrier, got hooked at start finish. Let's go back and look. He's got the 78 up top. 78's got almost half the hood alongside Warmuth coming across start finish. I don't know if the spotter just didn't tell him, but now he's going to get the really bad end of this here at that opening here in turn number 1. Ty Sykes is going to get a big piece of this as well. Watch this as he goes down into turn 1 after the fact. He was way on the brakes and gets run over by, I think that's the 27 of Ben Campbell. A few other cars getting caught out in this at the bottom of the racetrack. Dan Jones gets in it again as well. The 12 of Yogi Schleer also. Again, very close quarters here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Things happen in a hurry, not a lot of time to react. Field to get the 1-to-go signal this time across start finish. Already a handful of drivers out of this one. Ben Campbell, Dan Jones, David Warmuth, Austin Cansdale, and I think Troy Campbell could be done as well. He's still sitting here, might be able to get back into it, but we're set for the restart. Walls hammers the throttle, takes off in a hurry. Shive clips the bottom of the racetrack on corner exit, kind of roots him up to the banking. Shive hanging on to P3, but Tristan Valdez in the number 96, right on his back bumper. Valdez very quick in the mid-corner, and Mullins and Ebersol get together. They keep it straight, but for now, no, Ebersol's trying to hang on to it still, and he still keeps it going the right way. Robert Ebersol with his hands full again. Now he gets shot up the racetrack by Steve Luttrell. Oh, the frustrations behind the wheel of that one machine, I can't even imagine. I think Ebersol's got some damage. Look at the right front here if we can. It does look like it's sent out a little bit. Might just be some fender damage, but he's fallen now back to the 10th position. Field settling into a green flag run now. Dakota Walls continues to dominate. He led green to checkered in his heat race, but Austin Pack, who's been so fast all season long, let's see if he's got anything for him to run him down. He's running within 0.03 of a second lap times that last time by, but interestingly enough, Scott Shive was faster than the both of them by about half a tenth previously. Of course, the top two take that back this time across start-finish. Eversole still back in the 10th position. I just have to venture a guess here that he's got some damage on that right front. He was very fast out of the gate, was challenging in the top three. After getting shuffled out to the outside lane, then making contact with the outside wall off turn number 4, I think he has hurt the suspension on the front of that machine. Walls logs another lap here, 28 laps on the board. All led by the 01, Austin Pack in second. Shive still doing his best to hold off Tristan Valdez. Tristan seems like he's got a lot of pace right now, too. Cliff Mullins up from 7th in P5. Steve Luttrell up from 8th in 6th. And here comes Landon Brown up 13 positions in the 7th spot. Dakota Walls just looking so smooth out there. Scott Shive still running very quick lap times, and we got problems again. Eversole is around, and I think he's going to call it a night.
Somebody else on the racetrack before the straight's over with.
Eversole takes it straight to pit lane, and that might be it for the driver of the number 1 machine. Let's take a look. Oh, Eversole looks like he loses it all on his own. Loops it off the corner. I think this is out of turn number 2. Things going from bad to worse for Robert Eversole. Again, he had a fast race car, was challenging within the top 3. Got rooted up into the outside lane, then made some contact with the turn 4 wall. Damaged the race car, got stuck back about 10th. Couldn't progress any further forward. And now while battling a limped home race car, loses it all by himself out of turn number 2. Now, folks, this was supposed to be a 90-lap feature here tonight, and if you have already noticed in the timing and scoring, it shows a total of 85 laps. I don't know if that's just a whoopsie. That just increases the sense of urgency as the green flag comes back out. Oh, Dakota Walls misses a shift, and around he goes!
Caution.
Big-time wreck here in turn number 1, and we wad up the majority of the field here. As Dakota Walls does not fire off, he took off, and then I think he missed a shift. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, big hit for Luttrell. Shive gets run into pretty hard a couple of times, and everybody just piling in here. I want to go on board here with Walls coming to green. Let's listen. is, missed a shift. Nothing that Shive could have done there. Both Shive and Luttrell hammer into those tire barriers, that tire pack there at the opening of turn 1. It's where the trucks and trailers are able to cross over to get into the infield. Got to protect that, but that's why they do that, because that is a very precarious place to crash a race car into. We've seen 3 guys hit it hard already here tonight. I think they're going to give Walls the wave around here just to get him out of the way, back on the lead lap. But we're set for the restart, or are we? Shive is still stuck at the bottom of the racetrack trying to get to pit road. Austin Pack and Valdez, little contact off turn 2, and yellow is out again.
Quickly, tell me about your car if you can.
Might have been Charles Oberg here. I'm not even sure at this point if maybe that was a waved off restart with the 87 to Shive in the way trying to get to pit lane, or if the 77 had another problem. I think it might be the latter. Let's see what happened. Yeah, Oberg had a problem here. He's loose on entry. He's got damage too, and it's just coming around in the grass, almost up into traffic. Walls almost clips him. David Warmuth in the chat says, I hate these cars. A lot more fun to watch than drive. Well, I think that's a good thing, Dave, because when race car drivers don't enjoy driving the race car, it usually puts on a better race. I hate to say that, but at the same time, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Try running one of these at Mid-Ohio sometime. It's a blast. You know, if you're into that sort of thing. I am. Short course at Watkins Glen, Mid-Ohio, Lime Rock. These cars are fun, just they're a little tricky at the top of that hill. They get a little light in the steering. Even the short course at Sonoma. Hell, take it to Tacubaya. That's even fun, too. I know. I'm showing my road course routes. Leave me alone. I like taking left turns, too, sometimes. All right, let's try this again.
Green flag.
Pack jumps out of the head of Valdez by a couple car lengths. Valdez tries to close the gap, but here comes Landon Brown up into the top 3. David Walls into the 7th position. He's not out of this yet. Plenty of time for him to knife his way through the field. But it's a one-lane racetrack here. You really got to be careful. Pick your spots. David Warman says, it sounds like fun, road courses and late models. Well, I may have talked about it in the past here on the broadcast, but we ran a multi-class super late model and late model stock. We'll get to that in a minute. Caution's out. Cliff Mullins and David Walls around. We were just talking about having to pick your spots carefully. Walls may have made some contact there with the 37 of Mullins, and around he went. Let's take a look. The 3-pronged approach here. Drew King in the 34 getting crossed up. And chain reaction incident. I think King gets away without too much issue, but Mullins and Walls get turned sideways. But yeah, David, going back to that road course with late models. We ran a 2-class season. We had it broadcasted and everything. But it was super late models versus late model stocks. On road courses only, no ovals. And it was really cool to watch. We did a couple of Rovals. We did the Charlotte Roval. I think we did the Roval at Homestead and maybe one or two others, along with some traditional road courses. And it was really neat to see, because some of the tracks, the late model stocks, were actually beating the Supers. Obviously, the Supers got a whole lot more power, but you can really hammer these cars down on some of those road courses. They had more corner speed because they're not hammering the brake pedal on entry as much as the Supers were. It was a really interesting dynamic, but we did have it kind of peppered in with a mix of guys that are really good on ovals and really good on road courses. So it was kind of fun to do. I don't know if I would do it again. Maybe for a fun hosted race, but try them out. I think there's even a road course setup for these cars. At least there used to be in iRacing. May need to play with the rear gear a little bit. But if you can get them equal left to right, or as much as possible, they're pretty fun. So, set for the restart here. 6th caution of the night. It'll be Austin Pack and Tristan Valdez yet again. Landon Brown, Elijah Grant in that second row. Again, keep an eye on the 5. He started last here tonight. Said to work his way through this field. He's done a good job. Green flag back in the air. 30 laps to go. Did end up going down a lap there. He is the first car 1 lap down. Oh, in trouble. Carlson goes around with Dakota Walls and Drew King again. Tempers may be flaring here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Dakota Walls lights out all night long until he got into trouble. Missed a shift on the restart. Caught out a couple of wrecks since then. Now finds himself a lap down, and unfortunately, if there is a lucky dog in this series, he wouldn't get it because he was part of the caution. Let's take a look. Again, the 0-1 of Dakota Walls. A lap down here, just trying to get back up into a position where he could get back on the lead lap. Trailing in behind Hunter Carlson. He'll get on throttle and just lift the back tires of the 32 off the ground. Then Drew King comes in. Austin Pack still battling a little connection issue with the 81. He's finishing up caution number 7 here in the Angry Chef Designs 90 at Hickory Motor Speedway. Set for another restart. Front row will be Austin Pack, Tristan Valdez yet again. Then Landon Brown, Elijah Grant in the second row.
Green
truck
flag.
is in. Valdez tucks in, crosses over, diamonds the first 2 corners. Unable to get underneath Austin Pack here. Now they're in 3 and 4. Corner exit. Pack will cross the stripe, but Valdez right there, just about 2 or 3 feet off the back bumper. Valdez matching the lap time, the last time by, a 14:41. It's the fastest lap of the race for both drivers. .21 laps to go from Hickory Motor Speedway. Austin Pack leads Valdez, Landon Brown, Hunter Carlson, and Drew King. Pack finally settling into a rhythm here, puts almost a car length on Valdez. Landon Brown up into the third spot. Hunter Carlson not deterred, still in the top 5, running in P4 with Drew King on his back bumper. It's Cliff Mullins, Yogi Schleer, and Dakota Wall still trying to get his lap back. Using every inch of this racetrack and more. Now takes a peek to the outside, but decides better of it. Swaps over to the bottom. Mullins hanging on to the spot. Mullins running a Pontiac GTO here tonight. Mullins now putting some pressure on the 34 of Drew King. King up the racetrack. King's got some damage. I think everybody's got some damage. They were all, just about all, tied up in a big wreck on the restart when the 01 at Dakota Walls missed a shift. Stacked the field up considerably. At a place you just can't do that. But Walls now trying to make a move the long way around on the 37 of Mullins. Scott Shive still in pit lane trying to effect some repairs on his number 87, and Ty Sykes has gone around in turn 2. Charles Oberg also slow out of turn number 2 as the leaders are approaching. Austin Pack hangs on to it, and that has allowed Valdez to close the gap to within just a few feet as they cross the stripe. It'll be 12 laps to go. We did not catch a caution for that one as Oberg now still trying to get righted. Significant damage on the 77. He's just going to try and tough this out. It will not turn. Battle for the lead here in the late stages at Hickory Motor Speedway. Pack has led since the restart, but Valdez all over the back bumper, roots him up the racetrack, and he turns him. Around goes Pack at start-finish, and the caution is out.
Fellas, we have got a very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
Tristan Valdez getting into the back of the 81 of Austin Pack here late. Looked like he just didn't want to lift once he started making contact with the 81. Let's go back and take another look. I think that actually might have been the 81 getting loose. Yeah, Pack starts to step out here without contact. Let's watch it here from the roof cam at speed. Meanwhile, Landon Brown scooted on by, but I'm not sure if they're going to let Brown have the lead on this restart. It doesn't appear to be that way, so it'll be Valdez as the control car. So it'll be Tristan Valdez and Landon Brown on the front row. Then Hunter Carlson, Drew King in the second. Cliff Mullins, Elijah Grant in row 3. Austin Pack, Dakota Walls back on the lead lap. Is there enough time? Green flag is out. Carlson alongside Drew King for the third spot. Oh, and there's trouble. Dakota Walls goes around again. Not happy with Mike Wild, just drives through him at the end. So two things are happening here. You got the 12 behind Dakota or Austin Pack. Pack steps out again, and you can see, watch the 00 of Mike Wild here at the bottom of the track. I mean, I get why Dakota Walls was upset, because he thinks he got wrecked. But Mike Wild there just drifting. And then a little tank slap, and then gets into the left rear of Walls. I want to make note here, Scott Shive has returned to the racetrack, albeit beaten and battered, but still going to try and pick up what he can positionally. Every point matters. We are on the 1 to go. Now, if the total distance is indeed 85 laps, which I believe it to be, I don't think it was planned that way, this puts us into our first and only attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Brown and Valdez, the pace truck, comes down pit road. Green flag back in the air. Valdez fires off. Valdez leads Brown into turns 3 and 4 with the lead coming to the white flag. Final lap from Hickory Motor Speedway. Can he hang on for another 4/10 of a mile, even less, as he's down into turn number 3 for the final time. Started in the 5th spot and hangs on to win at Hickory Motor Speedway. And it looks like Dakota Walls gets turned again, coming to the finish line. A tough night for Dakota Walls. The spoils go the victor. Tristan Valdez picks up the win here tonight. King in 5th. Pretty happy about it, apparently. So that'll do it here from Hickory Motor Speedway. The Angry Chef Designs 90 in the books. We're going to step out, get a quick break, and should have our top 3 finishers in the booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Hickory Motor Speedway, the Angry Chef Designs 90 in the books, and Tristan Valdez from the 5th position drives it to victory. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver of the number 96 and pull him up into the broadcast booth. Tristan and Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
I got you.
Tristan, congratulations, man. Winner here tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway. You led 12 laps, but it was the one that mattered at the end that got you the checkered flag. Walk us through this event here tonight. You had a fast race car, so it was certainly earned, but a little bit of luck fell your way as well. Dakota Walls was lights out tonight, but then misses the shift on the restart, gets tangled up, and then the night went downhill for him after that. You, on the other hand, marched to the front, had to hold off a hard-charging Landon Brown there at the end. Tell us about those closing laps here with that green-white checkered.
Oh, man, the closing laps there, I just saw Landon coming, and I knew that, he had a better car than I did through the center, and I knew for sure when we got to 3 and 4 he had a good run. I thought he was going to lay into me a little bit, get me up, and win the race, but we were just talking there. I told him I appreciated him not running me dirty, and as far as the missing shift and stuff like that, I don't think I had the car to win, but, the leader was really, really fast, and he could get a good jump on the starts, and he just missed that shift, an unfortunate situation that I lucked out into. So also want to say I apologize to Austin Pack. We were just running real hard there, and he got a little loose. I just tried to stick my nose up underneath him, just a racing deal to me, but just wanted to say I did not mean to do that at all.
Well, actually, you read my mind, Tristan. We were just going to ask you about that. We did look at the replay a couple of different times, and it did seem that the 81 just got on the throttle there. The rear end stepped out. Right about the same time that you're getting on throttle, too. There's not a whole lot you can do. We talked about how fast things happen here at Hickory Motor Speedway. It is what it is. It's short track racing at the end of the day, and it didn't look intentional from our perspective.
Okay, that's what I was hoping, because I knew me and him were going to go down to the lap, and he's pretty fast in every race we run, so I was like, I got to make sure that if I get an opportunity, I got to take it. It just was a racing deal, and me and Pac find each other in a lot of situations where we're getting into each other, and I hate that we can't get a good run and try to show some good racing.
Well, the green flag racing we did have here tonight was certainly fun to watch. We enjoyed it. The heats were great. The feature event, of course, I thought it was good. Yeah, there was a few cautions, but it is what it is. We can always make it better next week, though. We go to IRP or Lucas Oil Raceway Park. I'm just an old school guy, but a bigger racetrack, a little more room to work, and a lot of different lanes to work with. How do you prepare for IRP next week?
Well, it's definitely a lot different than what we ran tonight. You're down here, you're kind of on the bottom, getting a good run off. IRP, you've got a lot of different ways that you can make a pass and make a run. I think there it'll just be about managing what you got, managing your stuff, getting to the end of the race, and just having a good car. I'm not really great on those type of tracks. I'm more of a short track guy, so we'll see what happens next week. But hey, anything can happen.
Certainly looking forward to it. Tristan, congratulations on the win here tonight in that Kyle Busch throwback scheme. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I just want to shout out, my family and my wife for watching the kids while I come and do this and have fun. I get to race in real life. I'm blessed to do that. So to come over here and play iRacing a little bit is still pretty fun. I like to thank Scott, too, for putting me on this league, man. Really great people, really good racing, and just having fun. And also, rest in peace, Kyle Busch, Rowdy. I mean, all of us, very, very heavy hearts, and just wish his family prayers.
All right, Tristan. Sentiments exactly here at Track Limits Network. Thanks for chatting with us. Congratulations again, and good luck next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tristan Valdez, a race winner here tonight at Hickory. Next, we'll talk to the 5 of Landon Brown. I know he's going to be a little upset about second, but man, it was second from the very back. Let's see what he has to say about things here tonight. Landon, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Landon, congratulations, man. Worst to almost first. P2 finish here tonight. Started very deep in the field. Let's first talk about qualifying. Was there a problem in qualifying? Did you get in the wall, car come around? What happened? We didn't catch it.
Yeah, my long qualifying lap there, I misjudged how tight the track was after practice and completely botched turn 1 and 2, so that really killed my lap time. So I had to start pretty far in the heat, and then we got wrecked for 7th or 8th there with 1 lap to go, and the heat race got turned, so we finished dead last in there, and that was super, super frustrating. But then iRacing decided to give us about 10 seconds to get on the grid for the B main. I got up to get a drink and missed the start, so I had to start from the pits along with Chris, and so I knew that there were 21 cars and iRacing was going to take 20. So thank God somebody else missed it along with me, because I knew that was going to be for the transfer spot. So I fought hard, got around him, luckily made it into the feature, and then, yeah, I had to start 20th, dead last.
Well, it was certainly an impressive run to watch. You had to pass a lot of cars at this place here tonight at a track that it's just not very conducive to that sort of thing. What is the way to get around somebody here at this place, short of just roughing them up and sending them into the corner?
Yeah, one thing I really like about this track is the way 1 and 2 is. 3 and 4, you pretty much have to run the bottom. If you run the top, you'll slide up and people get under you. But in 1 and 2, you can sort of roll the top. It also has a double apex, so you can kind of miss the bottom on entry and get a good turn down, get a good run down the backstretch. And honestly, I think that's the biggest thing is getting that good run off of 2 down the backstretch. If you can find a way to get that momentum, you'll find ways to get under people's quarter panels. And once you get them on your outside in 3 and 4, it's like I said, they can't really help but wash up. And even if they do stay on your door, they're going to have to basically park the car in the center of the corner to get it to rotate. So just getting that momentum off of 2 is really the biggest part when passing people here.
IRP next week with some variable banking, a little bit wider racetrack. What's the strategy and the game plan for IRP?
Man, I've raced IRP a couple times, and it's really fun. I don't know. It depends sort of on the track conditions, I guess, but the couple times that I've raced there, the line changes. You can run the top there all the way next to the wall, and you can run down the apron on the bottom, and you just got to search the track for where the grip is at in that current moment. And I think it provides some really good racing, even though it is a pretty big track for these cars. I think it's honestly one of the best tracks for a viewer to watch races on, just because of the line changing and people, sending it down on the bottom and pulling some slide jobs.
Certainly looking forward to it, Landon. Congrats again here. A strong run to finish P2 here tonight at Hickory. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Eastern Technical Design and Tracy Brown over there for everything he does for me. Firestone Painting, Justin Brooks Designs for the awesome car. You, Steve, and Track Limits Network. You guys put on a good show every week. And everybody that puts on FourWide, everybody at home that's watching and supporting the channel, supporting me, supporting the league, all that good stuff. So really fun to be out here, and looking forward to next week, man.
All right, Landon. Well, congrats again. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
Landon Brown, runner-up here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Next, we'll talk to third place Hunter Carlson, and he had his hands full here tonight. Started 13th, was involved in an incident or two. But we'll pull him up here and see what he has to say about his night. Hunter Carlson, Steve with Track Limits. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Hunter, congratulations, man. We just talked about 13th place, the starting position tonight, by way of the heats and all that sort of thing. So a little deep in the field. You had your work cut out for you. Also got tied up in a couple of incidents here tonight, but still you battle back to finish P3. How'd you do it?
Pure attrition, man. Didn't expect the race to get as messy as it did, but honestly just happy to kind of survive some of those incidents and be able to truck my way to the front.
Well, it was an impressive run, certainly. We've got Indianapolis Raceway Park, or Lucas Oil Raceway Park, however we want to call it. We all know what place we're talking about next week. What changes in your approach for IRP?
Obviously, try not to get spun in the heat race and start up front, because you have a better chance at winning these things if you start up front. But all in all, just try to be more consistent, try to find a little bit more speed, because I don't even know if I really had top 3 speed tonight, but just kind of landed in my lap there at the end.
Well, you turn all the laps. A lot of times, sometimes it will fall in your lap. That's a positive thing. Keep the car clean enough, and you have a chance at the end. The speed will come down the road. You're certainly no slouch out there, as by evidence the third place finish here this evening. Hunter, congratulations again, man. Third place tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank Eastern Technical Designs, Golden Chef Speed Shop, Angry Chef Designs, and FourWide Motorsport Network for putting this show on, for supporting me there, and you with Track Limits Network for putting this thing on.
There you go. All right, Hunter. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Hunter Carlson, third place here at Hickory. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3, and son of a gun, let's try it again. Yay. Tristan Valdez in the number 96 M&M's Camry. In tribute to Kyle Busch, he picks up the victory here tonight. Landon Brown, a very strong run from the back to finish second. Hunter Carlson just survived. He used that attrition to his advantage. Didn't become a part of the mess, at least not too often. Finishes P3 here tonight. Cliff Mullins was fourth. Drew King finishes in the fifth spot. Austin Pack, after a little bit of a snafu off turn 4, finishes in the sixth position. Elijah Grant was seventh. Yogi Schlier was eighth. Dakota Walls, a tough night. Very fast driver out here tonight. Put it on pole, led a lot of laps. One little mistake on the restart and all went south. Dakota Walls will finish ninth. Ty Sykes was 10th. Charles Oberg was 11th. 12th went to Mike Wild. Scott Shive, another very fast driver, getting caught up in a big wreck here tonight. He'll finish 13th, 37 laps down. Steve Luttrell, in that same incident, will finish 14th. Robert Eversole, fast early, also caught up in a problem. He'll finish 15th. 16th went to Ben Campbell. 17th was Dan Jones. David Warmuth, he said it earlier, he just can't figure this place out, but he was running top 3 for a little while, and unfortunately will finish 18th here tonight. 19th was Troy Campbell, and 20th was Austin Cansdale, 84 laps down. Well, that'll do it for us here tonight. Thank you guys again for tuning in this evening. Again, as I said at the intro for tonight's event, it's been a tough week. We'll get through it. I know Mike Joy had said it a couple of times here that this is a community that goes back to the racetrack to heal, and that's exactly what everybody is doing in the real world, even here in iRacing, and we'll continue to do just that. So thank you guys for letting me cover this action here tonight from Hickory Motor Speedway. Thanks for putting on a good show. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week at IRP.